Good evening, ladies as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris here with some more Hearthstone Arena. We've had a real topsy-turvy run with Priest. I made what I thought was a great deck, proceeded to lose 2 games pretty rapidly, clawed my way back up to 5-2, and now I'm hoping to make it to 7 before I poop out. I really times a billion hope to make it to 7 wins with this deck, so I believed in it from the very beginning. So I'll see what we can do. This deck has a lot of Velen's Chosen, some decent removal, both types of Shadow Word, some good 5-mana minions, a Mind Control. It's just got everything you'd really want in a Priest deck. We're up against Melts, the Warlock. Have a decent opening hand. I think the 5-drop needs to go, quality though it is. We got Mind Control. Okay, that was not a good trade, but still I think mulliganing that 5-drop was the right thing to do. And now let's start the party. So here we go. The Squire can just die to a 2-3, but there are a decent number of 1 toughness minions that the Squire holds up really well against. So let's see if we can get lucky here, and we maybe can. So I got a couple of options. I could either Holy Smite the Raptor and just let the Squire live, or I can pop the Divine Shield of the Squire, invite a trade, and then play the Goblin Stalker, try to trade the Squire for the Raptor. Well, the other option is I could play the Stalker and hit him in the face and try to Holy Smite this thing next turn. Well, I've got nothing to do next turn, so I think it's actually the right play. Keep both of my minions. If I'm lucky, he'll play something that hits for less than 3, so I can use the Stalker to use up the healing. Oh, that sucks. So I do lose the Squire, and he actually goes up a card with this because he got to kill that Squire and not lose any cards. Alright, Velen's Chosen. Seems good. So we'll just whack that thing. 4-4, unfortunately, does die to Shadow Bolt and Soulfire. I'm just hoping he doesn't have Shadow Bolt. That's a pretty bad card. People pass on that. Or at least they should. Hoping he doesn't have Soulfire, because while that would cost him 2 cards with the life tap and me investing 2 cards to begin with, that would be paying for itself. Alright, I'm not going to pass on the opportunity to drop a 4-drop here. The question is which one. This one hits harder, but it's more vulnerable to stuff. This thing is just a brick, but it doesn't hit very hard. Let's play the Light Spawn. I'm not sure it's the right play, but it's the play I'm going to make, so here goes. Does he find a Shadow Bolt or a Soulfire with all his life tapping? 8 cards is a lot of cards. I've only got 5 out here. So I'm counting on the tempo to win this game. He has Voidcaller. Ah, the classic Voidcaller gambit. So do you leave that alone, or do you kill it? I am gonna kill this thing, and then if it's a really big thing that he gets, I should be able to Shadow Word Death it. Let's see what happens. He gets another one. Okay. Well, I guess what I'm gonna do here is hit it. Play the Warden. Hellfire would kill 2 of my creatures, but not all of them, and I can still heal this back up later to bring it up to 4-4 if needed. Alright, the Warden's good against the Knight. Zombie Chow is just underwhelming at this stage. Okay, so this is looking pretty good. Got a couple different options here. Holy Smite to kill the Zombie Chow seems pretty clear. Question is, what do I heal? Well, let's kill this off. That's definitely happening. I could heal up this, and it basically would stay at 2-2. Or I can heal up this and it would stay a 4-1. So really it doesn't actually matter, does it? It makes no difference, it seems. What I heal. Unless I trade this and heal this back up and let this thing die. I kind of feeling though he doesn't have Hellfire, or he would have played it last turn. So we'll take a slight risk here. Shadow Word Deaths and Mind Control is a pretty awful hand. But that does mean I should be able to top deck my way into playable stuff, and then I should be able to kill most anything big he'd play, although something like a Sunwalker here would be a big drag. Alright, he life taps, which is a good sign. He's not playing a 6-drop, and he plays a Hellfire. Shoot. Well, that sucks. Now I'm in trouble because I've got nothing to play. Please top deck. Alright, that'll do. A 5-5 here is incredibly solid. That's almost half his health. So he has to remove it, which isn't the easiest thing in the world for a Warlock to do. It's pretty much Siphon Soul, or there's that one weird card I haven't actually seen yet, the one that deals 5 damage or something or other to a demon, or buffs a friendly demon. He freezes it, which I'm okay with, because I can kill this with Shadow Word Death, and this thing is still around, so this is totally fine. In fact, this is actually a really nice top deck. I was holding on to a bunch of bad cards, which meant my deck was somewhat loaded with good ones, and that actually came through for me here. So now I've got this really big board. He's being threatened with death, got Mind Control in 2 turns, another Shadow Word Death. Pretty much the only minion I'm afraid of is a Sunwalker, though I could still get through 4 damage, even if you played Sunwalker. Twisting Nether, I guess, would be pretty good here. This Mogushan Warden's been solid. The Reckless Rocketeer is forced to not have to kill one of my creatures that actually matters. He drops a Molten Giant, which I'm pretty okay with. So I think we're just going to, well, let me think about this. Hit him in the face for 9. Leper Gnome would be the kill. So yeah. Do I Shadow Word Death this thing? If I do... Actually, no, hang on a minute. I am going to Shadow Word Death it. I don't want to explain why. I don't want to hold out for the Mind Control on that Giant, because what I really want to Mind Control maybe is this Reckless Rocketeer, because it has Charge. That would be another way of killing him. Of course, he could run the Rocketeer into one of my creatures, but that's fine. Alright, so does he have a Silence for this Leper Gnome? He has to, or else he dies. Or I guess Healing, if he has Healing or a Silence for the Leper Gnome, is what I would take. He draws some more Demons. Felguard he'd need in order for the taunt, but it would kill the Leper Gnome, and he kills himself with the Flame Gnome. Alright, good start. Up to 6 wins. At this point, if I lose... Well, in the last video when I was at 2-2, I made a prediction that I would win 6 games in a row. So I kind of need to win 2 more games to make that prediction come true, but with that said, if I lose here, it at least would not be a disaster of an arena run. I'd still be pretty content with how this run went if I made it to 6, just because nowadays... my average is actually below 6, so every time I make it to 6, I'm actually increasing my average a little bit. And on top of that, my last 3 runs with Priest were all 4 wins, so getting up to 6 was pretty solid. Alright, we're up against a mage here, Ohm-Wrecker. Oh, I've definitely seen this name before, and I think this person is pretty good at the game. So, opening hand kind of sucks. We got a Holy Smite here, but that's it. We have more removal, but nothing to actually play. A bit awkward. Alright, we got a card drawer, which is going to increase the odds of actually getting a playable thing on turn 3, but it's not immediately useful on turn 2. Hoping she passes the turn here, because then she'd have to... Nope, there's the coin. God, I cannot catch a break. I think every time I say they hope to pass the turn, they actually play the coin. Fairy Dragon. Can't be Holy Smitten, can't be Shadow Word Pained. Kills the Engineer and lives to tell about it. So the Novice Engineer is going to have to wait. I'm going to play the Goblins Stalker and try to trade off the Fairy Dragon. If she plays a Flamethrower here, that would kill the Stalker. God, mages did not need another good early removal spell. Alright, so she presents me with some interesting options here. I could kill off the Summoner and just stay up a card. I could do that. Or I could just trade the Stalker for the Fairy Dragon, smite this thing, and play Novice Engineer. Alright, I'm going to take the greedy path here. We'll do this. I'm going to actually heal it up to stop it from getting pinged off and play the Squire. So now she can trade the Fairy Dragon for the Stalker, in which case she just concedes going down a card, or she can run the Fairy Dragon into the Squire and ping the Squire, in which case she gets her card back, but at the cost of playing anything. She chooses to go up a card instead of pinging. I actually question that choice. I think board presence was more important there than what she did. And now she actually hits me in the face, which I think is a big mistake because, well, we're about to see why. What do I have Ellen's chosen? The Squire or this guy? This thing would become a 4-7. It would drop to be a 4-4. This thing would be a 3-5, and it would stay a 3-5. I think the health is worth more to me than the extra power. So this is why, ladies and gentlemen, you don't let people keep creatures. So now this Stalker, which was played to trade with the Fairy Dragon, actually just ends up living, and it's an extra thing for her to deal with. So she's a 3-5 to deal with on turn 4. Just going to silence it off. Well, that is a really good answer to, what's his face? Valen's chosen. Now I've got a couple of options here. I can play Fugen and trade both these creatures into the Spellbreaker. Or I can Holy Smite and use the Argent Squire. That would let me keep this and also play Novice Engineer. Alright, we'll do that. I feel like it's worth it to clear that off with slightly better efficiency. We'll see what she has going. Ooh, a Water Elemental. Well, that's actually really awesome news because I have the best card in the game for killing a Water Elemental. That is Shadow Word Pain. And then on turn 6, I'll be able to replay my own Water Elemental as the ultimate insult. And this guy should be dead. I should have 3 more health, and this thing should be dead, but she is misplayed. Which doesn't mean I win the game or anything, but it's giving me a pretty big advantage. Alright, she decides to use the Wolf Rider to clear off my board. I'm actually pretty fine with that, because what happens now is I can actually just play Fugan and not care. And in fact, I'll also play the Squire. So, I don't want to Shadow Word Pain this thing, because obviously I know she has a Water Elemental that'll drop at some point, and I want to use Shadow Word Pain on that. This actually seems to be a pretty intelligent play. She kind of slow-rolled it last turn. She didn't play the Elemental. It's almost as if she was trying to bait out a Shadow Word Pain. Alright, well, she plays the Elemental here, and now everything is perfect, because what I can do is I can use Fugan to kill that thing off, and then Shadow Word Pain the Elemental. And I still have 5 mana, so we're going to play the Water Elemental and hit her in her fat face. So now I've got a pretty big board safe from Flame Strike. 6 cards to 5, soon to be 6. Granted, if she pings this, I am down a card. But I might be able to steal a card with this, and I've got some pretty big bodies out here. So this is looking good, although a big creature here could be trouble. I don't have any immediate answers in my hand to a big creature. Alright, she plays a pair of Brutes. Well, I could run in Fugan and Elemental and Holy Nova. That would heal up Fugan and Elemental, although both would still die to Flame Strike. Oh man, I could ignore these and just take my chances. I think I'm gonna hedge my bets. We'll do this. No, I'm not gonna hedge my bets. I'm just gonna kill them. Okay, so they both die to Flame Strike regardless, thus I'm going to heal the one that doesn't die to being... or so it doesn't die to being pinged. We'll play the Light Spawn and pass the turn. So Flame Strike would kill off these two, but this thing would stay and I could heal it back up. Got a Mind Control to take over anything big she might play in 2 turns. Does she have the Flame Strike? I'd rather she didn't. Alright, she has an Urgent Commander, which I'm pretty okay with. The question is, what's she doing with her remaining 2 mana? The answer is nothing important. Alright, so I can actually Holy Nova here, even though it doesn't get me up a card. It's just a factor of probably not having anything better to do with Holy Nova in the future. So yeah, we'll do this. Play the Wolf. Hit her in her fat face for a decent amount of damage. Note that the Wolf does not buff the Light Spawn. And okay, so now I've got 10, 11 damage being threatened. Mind Control is online. Flame Strike could kill this and the Wolf, but not the Elemental. Plays a Force Tank Max, which is, well, first time I've ever mind controlled one of those. That's pretty much the perfect target. Wow, I could play Shadow Word Death, which is interesting. But I think, honestly, just stealing that is pretty good. So we'll hit her in her fat face, and we're threatening lethal. This thing survives Flame Strike. She pretty much has to have a Blizzard. She's drawing, looking for that Blizzard or that Frost Nova. She plays Unstable Portal, looking for anything desperate. Obviously, that's just a Desperado play at this point. In theory, that could have been like a Deathwing or something. It's that she doesn't have enough mana to play it, but that's fine. We win. All right, we made it to 7 wins. That is incredible. So I'm almost at my prediction. I need to just win 1 more game to actually back up my salt-infused big words in the last video when I was very angry and still claiming the deck was a good one. Gonna make our money back, gonna stay above 12,600, and I have, I think, 2 daily quests, a big one and a small one to complete. No, 2 big ones, so it's another 120. We're getting pretty close to 13,000. Alright, another mage. This is Shy Zack as opposed to Gregarious Zack, which we've seen in other videos. I'm just kidding, that's never happened. Alright, we got another pretty decent opening hand. The Stalker is good, Holy Smite's good. 3 Balance Chosen's in the deck. I got the wrong 3 mana spell. This is actually not the greatest opening hand. Now we got this to play on turn 2, but that's it. Unless there's something to kill with Holy Smite. I'd love to see her play something I can kill with Holy Smite on turn 1. Hit, 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 hit. Nope. So do you coin into the Stalker, knowing you can play the Novice Engineer on turn 2? I think so. I think it's worth going for the board presence, given that I've got a bit of a slow hand. Waiting to coin this on turn 4 is a bit of a fool's gambit, I think. So now I'll be playing the Novice Engineer on turn 2, likely. And that means on turn 3 she can ping this and kill it and waste her 3rd turn, or do something else and let me get away with keeping this creature. Snow Chugger. Well, this is awkward, because I can hit this and Holy Smite, but then this thing's going to be at 1 health. She can just ping it to death. What I'm going to do instead is play Novice Engineer. Wowza. And I'm just going to leave this situation alone. So I'm planning to put a Velen's Chosen on the Stalker and kill the Snow Chugger that way. Well, every decision has consequences. She got a 4-4 because of my decision, so she'll have a spare part. Luckily, I can still kill the 4-4. And I think I will do so. So now she can run in and ping this to death. So she ends up coming out ahead with all this stuff. And I have nothing to do on turn 4, so I'm actually in trouble. But at least if she runs in and pings it, that's spending half of her mana for the turn. I could still maybe get lucky and top deck a 4-drop. Or with her remaining 2 mana, she might play something that dies to Holy Smite. Alright, here's the ping. Die to Holy Smite, please. Die to Holy Smite, please. Ah, Jesus. That could be anything up to 3 mana. And it doesn't come down. Alright, well, that was the top deck of the century. No, that's not the top deck of the century, but that was a really good top deck. That could be a game-winning level of top deck. She has 7 cards, I have 6. One of her cards is an unstable portal, so it could be anything up to 8 mana that she'd play. Luckily, I've got Shadow Word Death to kill it, if it is anything huge from that unstable portal. It's a Bomb Lobber. Jeez, that is awful, because now that lets her kill off my Senjin in high style. Wow, that was a really good unstable portal. Alright, we're going to play the Spiteful Smith, hoping that sticks, but a Fireball or a Polymorph will take care of it, as will 3 damage of any sort. This is actually starting to look pretty ugly. A Dark Iron Dwarf would let her kill this as well. I have only spells. I can't get any minions to stick to use Velen's Chosen. Alright. No, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, emergency coolant. Of motherfucking course. Emergency coolant. Jesus Christ. Hate that thing. Alright, what we're going to do here is think. Velen's Chosen buffs the spell damage. Lets me kill that. Leaves me with 2 mana. Might as well Mind Vision then. Spellbreaker, very interesting. So I could actually silence this thing and then use it to kill the lobber. I think this is the better move. Why? Because I'm behind, and when you're behind, take risks. Yes, she could have a Polymorph and kill this, but this is a 6/10, it'll kill her Spectral Knight. She doesn't have a Polymorph, it's very difficult to get rid of this thing. Does she have it? No. Oh, she silences it. Right. Oh, God, I'm so stupid. Oh, God, I'm so dumb. Of course, I just Mind Visioned this from her, so I knew she had it. There was no reason for me to keep this thing around. Well, this thing could still live. It could still live. It could possibly live still. And it looks like it is going to. Alright, how do we deal with this situation? So, I don't have quite enough mana to Velen's Chosen Holy Nova. Awesome as that would have been. That would have pretty much cleared the board. I could kill this and heal, but then it'll still die to the Spectral Knight. I could kill that off. What I'm going to try to do is take this Gambit approach. I'm gonna heal this up, just make it annoying for her to kill off my thing. And I'm hoping to get a big Holy Nova, is the plan here. Although I'm definitely behind, she has 8 cards to 6 with the first play. I guess I could have put Velen's Chosen on this and had it sit there, but I really needed to play Holy Nova in the same turn to kill off her Spellbreaker and get rid of 4 damage. Ah, that 1 mana cost me. Maybe I shouldn't have coined out that Stalker. Alright, should we have an Archmage? Is she gonna Frostbolt or something crazy here? Trades, and does she have the kill? Oh, she has the ping kill. Right, shit. Oh my god, I can't kill this. I could Velen's Chosen Shadow Word Death to kill it, but that's terrible. I think I'm just fucked. Yeah. Totally, 100% fucked. there's just nothing good to do here. Well, when you're down, play all your cards. I'm not sure how to catch back up in this game. Even a mind control wouldn't really do anything for me. Shadow Where Death is just 1-to-1. Something pretty wacky would have to happen for me to actually win this game. Crap, that turn I played Spellbreaker. Or that when I mind visioned the Spellbreaker, I should have taken into account the fact that she had one. And then the following turn with the Smiteful Smith was still alive, I should have Velen's chosen it instead of playing my Spellbreaker. Yeah. Crap. Well, we're in bad trouble now, but I'm just waiting to see what falls, because it's possible she has a bunch of dumb crap. And I can just win. Through delaying the game long enough to get off of mind control of something important. What is she thinking about, I wonder? Is she thinking about Flame Strike, maybe? Alright, that's pretty humble. She decides to trade. I was really hoping she'd let me keep that around, but she's not stupid. So now Holy Nova doesn't kill this unless I can put Velen's Chosen on it. Alright, let's see here. When you're desperate, you're desperate. So I get a 9/9 with 2 cards invested. It diminishes an attack power every single time it gets hit. So all she has to do is kill this thing, and she wins the game. She needs 3 more damage. 2 more damage if you count the ping. Yep, she's got it. She has enough mana left over to ping the Light Spawn, and she's intelligent. She pings first. This will actually allow the Goblin Stalker to survive, or the Archmage to survive, which is much smarter than even I was thinking. Okay, let's, I think I don't actually have mind control here to steal this off, so we have to do this and play that because there's no reason not to. We'll Holy Nova later. So in theory, if she plays out all 5 of these cards and every single one of them dies to Holy Nova, I could still win. If she plays Deathwing and I draw Mind Control, I could still win. I mean, there's a few wacky things that could happen, but I've pretty much lost. Man, that Mad Bomber off the unstable, or the Bomb Lobber off the unstable portal, that just did me in. Okay, well, Holy Nova kills 2 things off, so I might as well play it. The Clockwork Gnome's gonna die to the ping. Her hero ability's been very good for her this game. 7 wins for Priest. Pretty good. Pretty good considering we started off 2-2. And we'll get to start a new run in this video. She does have 5 cards to my 0. Don't exactly know how I could possibly win this. If only she'd gotten this. But alright, let's see what happens. Pretty good hand against, or pretty good board against Mind Control. Let's draw a card and concede. Pyromancer would kill this, but nothing else. Yeah, we're done here. Okay, thanks for watching. Don't close the video yet. We are going to start the new run right now. After we take a look at the prize. Hopefully it's a little more than 150 gold. I feel like I've been getting 20 dust every single run lately. It'd be nice to get something that's not dust. Ah, thanks. Thanks, game. Appreciate that. Oh, love that extra 5 gold. That's great. Okay, let's take a look at the pack. Pretty much only care about epics and legendaries at this point. And I got a golden rare, which is 100 dust. For the arena, we need Warlock or Warrior. Paladin technically, but Paladin's on the shit list. Don't have either one. I've already played all of these classes up to 7 games. So I could take Mage because I win the most with Mage. But you know what? I had a really terrible Druid run recently. Why don't we try to amend that? Because I really deserve better. Alright, terrible opening pack. I'm going to take Claw over the Ogre, because I think the early removal is more valuable than the big beefy dude. This is terrible, so we'll take the Owl. Terrible again, wow, so we'll take the Panda. Have to choose between Starfire and a Knight, that's rough, but I'm going to take the Starfire. I think removal is very important. God, what is up with these rares? Yeah, Gnomish Experimenter, it's time. It's time for you, buddy. Okay. health or the extra stats? Tough call here. Let's try the Dancing Swords, see how I think about it. This is junk, so we'll take a second Starfire. We'll take the Yeti there for some mid-game beef. And alright, we got Fel Reaver, which, after talking about how awesome it was in the arena, turns out it's not that awesome. It lost me some games. The Hobgoblin is cute, but in the arena I don't think it's actually very good. So we'll take Ancient of War, which is just a game-winning level epic. Poison Seeds, number 3. Oh my god, if that had been 3 swipes, that would have been great. But instead we have to take a trash 6-drop. Or do I take... No, Poison Seeds, no. I'm not going to take it. We'll take the Lord, because at least it does taunt. Knife Juggler here is the only good card. Wow, a second Ancient of War. Or I could take an Ancient of Lore. We'll take the Ancient of Lore. I could be wrong about that, but I think the card draw and the health flexibility is nice there. Alright, we can take this for another 2-drop. These guys are okay. And this is actually a good pick. I would take any of these 3 cards over the Swords, or the Experimenter, or the Panda, or the Lord. So there are 4 cards in my deck that all 3 cards of these, even like the worst of these 3 is better than. This draft is going a bit awfully. Let's take the buff today. That's how I'm feeling. Innervate seems good with all these expensive cards, and of course with Auctioneer it's a very good combo. We'll take the Spider here, because it's the only good one. Micro Machine is the only good one there. Ironbark Protector is greedy. I'm going to take this. It's almost as big and much cheaper. I think it's worth it to not be so greedy. Druid of the Fang. I feel like I just never want that card. That's 1 beast. Yeti is not a beast for some reason. We'll just take the Mechanical Yeti. The Savage Roar could be useful, but I think that it's a very bad removal spell, and the Yeti's a very good card. Alright, we'll take a Bite. And a Wrath, that's simple enough. Ye gads. Well, I could take this for more burn, or I could take this tab as a 1-drop. Let's take the Voodoo Doctor. We have some pretty expensive cards here, so I think having some early plays to slow things down would be good. Mark of Nature is the only playable card there. Another Nightblade. We'll take the Berserker here. Claw or the Knight. They both deal 2 damage, but the Claw synergizes with the Auctioneer. Its removal helps me keep the early game alive. Alright, we'll go for that. Only 1 playable there, even though this is a really mediocre 5-drop. It's the only card there that was playable. And I could go for the Annoying Taunt or the Card Drawer here. Let's grab the Card Drawer. There's a swipe in the last 3 picks. That's like 2 swipes. Wow, 2 swipes in the last like 4 picks. That is terrific. And a Bomb Lobber. Alright, wow, that really kind of glued together in the end. So this had 2 really good epics. I got both of the epic trees, which is very, very, very lucky, because you aren't even guaranteed to see a single epic in your draft. So seeing 2 epics is lucky already, and seeing 2 good ones is lucky already, and seeing 2 exceptional ones is very lucky. So that's nice. And at the very end, I got 2 swipes and a Bomb Lobber, so I think that kind of makes up for the fact that some of the cards in this deck just plumb suck. So we'll see if the quality overrides the lack of quality in this deck. C7 7 is our first opponent. Druid versus Hunter is a nice matchup. We'll mulligan the swipe. There's 2 of them. Don't necessarily need that early on, and I think it was nice to try to fish for another cheap drop. But here it's okay. The spiders are likely to live in some fashion or other, so I can play the Cleric on turn 3. Question is, do I coin these guys out? That gives me leeway to shapeshift on turn 2, and they're not likely to die. I'm going to try it. We'll see how it goes. Basically, if this were a regular 2-drop that could just die to a removal spell, I wouldn't have coined it out. Because if it dies and I don't get a 2-drop, I got nothing to do on turn 2. But specifically because these things are likely to live, I think it was worth throwing them out there. Alright, I think I'm glad I did that. So we'll cash out the spiders. Shapeshift to kill off Mr. Micro Machine. I'm now up a card. 2 cards if you count the fact that the spider split into 2. And I've got something here I can buff with my Cleric. So this is looking good. What he wants here is like an Ogre or a Dancing Swords, because even with the buff from the Cleric, can't kill it. He actually passes on turn 3. So now I got a question, is he saving me up for some sort of a blowout? I can't think of anything offhand that he would have that would make me regret playing that Cleric, so we're just going to throw down. If he plays a trap here, it's probably going to be explosive, so I'll just put Mark of Nature on this, make it a 3/6 with taunt. Ah, I see. He wanted to save up for the big Twilight Drake. Okay. So we got a couple of options here. Option 1, I could Mark of Nature this, make this a 3/6 taunt, and just ignore the Twilight Drake. Or I could make it a 3/6 taunt, throw everything at the Drake, and kill it. I could Claw and Shapeshift, and throw the spiders at this, and kill it that way. I don't like that plan because that uses up all of my mana. I have nothing else to do. I don't really see why I would want to do that. I could put Mark of Nature as a plus attack and just use this buffed spider to kill the Drake. Alright, let's try it this way. This maximizes my board presence. I don't really go down a card because the spider was sort of free, so he has 6 cards to 7 right now. Turn 5, I've got a Bomb Lobber coming in for his 5-drop plus a couple of creatures to finish it off, so what he really wants here is some kind of a durable drop to be annoying. Something like a Sludge Belcher, I guess? Sludge Belcher would be solid. Ah, this is actually also pretty good for him, because I can of course kill it with the Lobber, but then the Shattered Sun Cleric would die. Is there anything better, though? I could Claw Shapeshift for 3 and then throw everything in, but that's pointless. Alright, so we'll just do this. Hit him in his fat face, and then play the extremely strong Bomb Lobber. It's good enough in ranked, and it's extremely good in the arena. So this draft had a very lucky curve. It gave me those 2 good epics, but then the other source of luck is that it gave me these swipes right at the end. Alright, Fen Creeper's a pretty good card. However, I do have a pretty good answer to it. Well, now I have my choice of 2 answers. I can play the Lord of the Arena and just sit and wait, or I could Starfire Spider and keep going for the face. If he doesn't have a good answer to the Lord, I'm going to be glad if I play the Lord, but if he has a good answer to it... I'm guessing he doesn't have an answer, though, because he hasn't been able to kill any of my stuff all game. So I'm guessing he doesn't have good removal, and if he doesn't have good removal, this is the better option, because it lets me keep a creature on the board while also getting rid of the Fen Creeper. We got a couple of claws here, so on turn 8 I can actually go Gadgeon Auctioneer, double claw, draw 2 cards. But on turn 7, I kind of have nothing to do. Alright, he's got Unleash the Hounds. This is going to turn very ugly if he has a way to buff these dogs. If he just throws 2 dogs at the Lord, okay, that's fine. So he spends 2 cards, basically, to kill a Lord of the Arena and a Spider. He spends Fen Creeper and Unleash the Hounds to kill Lord of the Arena and a Spider. That's a pretty good trade-off. Alright. Well, what I could do here is I could play the Auctioneer and cash out one of my claws. I'm going to do that. This is risky, but... it's not that risky. I'm still getting a card for the claw. But the thing is, I get a 4/4 body on the table. He hasn't been able to kill anything all game, so he might not be able to deal 4 damage. Hunters can't really do 4 damage very easily anyhow. They pretty much have to have the Beast Kill Command combo, or Hunter's Mark something else combo. And if he can't kill this off, he's going to get into a bit of trouble, because Swipe and Claw will both draw me some cards. Does he have a kill? Looks like he doesn't. He has a secret. Okay, that's fine. So the question is, do I use the Swipe just because it gives me a card, or do I save it for a better time? Well, let's think. I could also Starfire the Silverhand Knight and Claw the Recruit. That seems like a pretty logical choice, so we'll Starfire first because it draws me more cards. I think I might have to reverse my opinion of this Auctioneer. The thing I've always thought about the Auctioneer as well, it sucks, it's 6 mana, it's so expensive, but the thing is, you can save up. You can like plan ahead for a really big turn. I think that's what makes it so strong. So do I attack into this likely Freezing Trap? The thing is, I have no idea what his trap is. It could be anything. Freezing Trap seems like it's the most likely. He wouldn't have wanted a Freezing Trap earlier when I had the Bomb Lobber out, which corroborates this probably being a Freezing Trap. So what I'm going to do is play the Voodoo Doctor to heal myself, and then pass the turn, which is obviously going to be sucky if he ends up being an explosive trap, but the thing is I have so much card advantage against him thanks to this Auctioneer that I'm pretty okay with it, and having this out to test for Freezing Trap seems good. Alright, he plays a News, which fits right into the Voodoo Doctor. Gives me a perfect way to check for Freezing Trap. Alright, Ancient of Lore, I got both my Ancients. I mean, I'm winning this game really hard. So, is it a Freezing Trap? Yep, it sure is. So, what do we do here? We could kill this off. Yeah. Why don't we just kill this off? I've got enough cards, I'm not going to get fatigued anytime soon. This is fine. And what I think I'm going to do is just hit this, play the Blue Doctor, and heal up the guy. So, we've got 10 cards to 3. And it's just over. I don't think there's anything he can do really to win this at this point. Even with this, I mean, so I throw 2 things at it and it dies. It's still bad for him. Alright, so let's play the Ancient of War. And I can do something up to 5 mana now. You know, let's just keep it simple here. I don't even want to draw 2 cards. Let's just do this. Shapeshift. Do that. And hit him in the face. I could also have Wrath this and run the Auctioneer into it, I suppose. But I would actually start to... Actually, no, if I played Innervate and Wrath, drawn 2 cards, this would have been okay. Plays another Secret and a Web Spinner, which is fine by me. Chooses not to attack the Ancient of War, which is very interesting. Alright, well now that he's out of juice completely, let's just swipe this off. Get myself a card. Gives him a spider. Let's Wrath this thing, get another card. We'll check for Freezing Trap with the Auctioneer. Yep, 2 Freezing Traps, so it goes back in my hand. We'll hit him for 5 with the Ancient. I could Innervate here, although I don't see what the point is. Sure, we'll Innervate, and then I can play the Knife Juggler and Yeti. Okay, are we threatening lethal here? 5, 9, 12. We're threatening lethal. 13. I can get past a taunt. I've got a bajillion cards. I'm far enough away from fatigue. You can't really win on that front. And he plays a bunch of random stuff. Alright, good game. That was a pretty darn good start, and a bit of a shameful one for me because I've been sort of bad-mouthing the Auctioneer for a while, ever since he got nerfed. My logic was I didn't like him that much back when he was 5... Wait, what was it? He cost 6 mana. Did he used to cost 5? Did the Gadget Auctioneer really used to cost 5 mana? That seems awfully cheap. But I guess so, because he got nerfed, right? Okay, so when he cost 5 mana, I still didn't like him that much in the arena. And then when he got nerfed up to 6, I was like, well, now it's just definitely terrible. But I just realized, kind of being forced to play with him, that you can save up for a big turn, and as long as you have at least a few cheap spells in your deck, you'll be in good shape. It seems like Druids in general do a pretty good job with him, with Innervates and Claws and Wraths. So that might be my strategy for some of the games. This opening hand, not as good as the previous one. Indeed, only the Cleric is keepable, and it might end up being an overpriced vanilla 3-2 if I don't get anything to stick. Nope, nope, and okay, well, this is rough. He's got a Clockwork Gnome, that's very annoying. So I am going to Shapeshift to kill this. Ooh, okay, never mind. I'm gonna play the Berserker. Put a little bit of pressure on him. This obviously is annoying to deal with if I kill this and it gets enraged. If he kills it with a spell, Lightning Bolt or Rockbiter, I can Shapeshift to kill the Gnome, and then it's okay, because he didn't go up a card killing this, I don't go up a card killing that. It's all sort of fair in Love and War. Does he have it? He doesn't have it. Okay. So do you still Shapeshift to kill that, or do you actually threaten or enrage the Berserker? I think I'm going to Shapeshift to kill this. The reason is, if he didn't kill the Berserker, he probably doesn't have the kill for it. I'm risking a little bit, because if he gets the +1 attack, he can actually kill the Berserker. But as long as that doesn't happen, I pass turn 2, which I didn't have much to do except play a Knife Juggler that was just going to trade, and I can play the Dancing Swords on turn 3, which should be strong. So let's see if his turn 3 is any better than mine. That's a pretty good turn 3, so now if he plays... shoot, okay. If he plays an Overload card, this becomes pretty scary, but I can't kill it except for through extreme measures such as Mark of Nature. Let's do this. We'll play the Cleric, kill off that Stalker, and run headlong into Forked Lightning. If he's got Forked Lightning, then FML, but if he doesn't have that one particular card, this is a really good setup. Okay, he started to point at this attack, meaning he probably doesn't have Forked Lightning. If he did, he'd play it. Stormforged Axe is a pretty good card for him here. Lets him kill off my Berserker, and lets him also kill off the Cleric. Stormforged Axe. It's either really useless or wins the game, as I've found in my experience playing with Shamans. And he has a 2-drop to follow it up, so he's overloaded next turn, but that's little consolation to me because I'm in a backwards place here. Alright, I'm going to play the Doctor. I don't think he's going to get any better, so I might as well just throw him out. Everything that I have is going to die, and he still has 4 mana to work with. So I'd say I'm pretty far behind here. I'm down on cards, down on tempo, and down on the board. It's all awful. I could still catch back up with a swipe, and maybe if he doesn't have hexes with some ancients, but it's looking grim. He looks like he has another kill for the swords, or he would have definitely run the elemental and his accent to the swords. So I'm just holding my breath, waiting to see what it is. He now could use a lightning bolt to kill this, and also grow the elemental some more. This is just looking worse by the second. He actually doesn't have the kill. Oh my god, I can't actually believe that. Alright, well, if that's gonna be the way it is, we'll play the Ventrico to put some pressure on him. And I'm actually gonna kill this elemental before it becomes any more of a problem. So now he needs a hex for this, and I'm pretty okay trading this for a hex, freeing up my mana costs. He really should have killed this last turn. I honestly don't know why he didn't. Alright, well, if he doesn't kill this by some miracle, then Mark of Nature to make this a 7/10 taunt would be a pretty good way to go. But I imagine he's either going to find 2 damage to kill it with, or he's just going to hex it. Alright, there's 3 damage, so is he going to... Oh, I guess maybe he was hesitant. Maybe he didn't want to hit it with his face, but he decided, okay, it's worth it to hit it with his face. Alright, this is looking okay. So, Bite, Shapeshift would kill the Elemental, but I think Starfire is even better because it gets me up a card. We'll kill off... Actually, hold on. Do I want to kill the spell damage totem or hit him in his face? This is interesting. I'm going to hit the totem because the most likely way for this to die is for him to use his axe, and then it goes down to 11 health anyways. Then I've got some burn here. Alright, so this is going to die, but hopefully some barrels will go to his face. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Okay, so 3 went to mine and 1 went on his. That's crappy. Alright, so now we're in a little bit of trouble here. I don't actually have good answers. The Lord of the Arena will just die to his Matter Bomber. Awkwardly, Bite, while it kills the Matter Bomber, will make this grow. But I think I'm going to do this anyway because, yeah, we'll do this. Kill his Matter Bomber. And then I'm going to play the Experimenter. Because it's just got to happen. It's a little bit risky if I get a big tree or something, but I luck out and get a Starfire, so all's good. Alright, I'm clawing my way back into this, but he still has the lead. I'm down to 19, which isn't that high. He's got the ready kill for this, so he has a full 8 mana turn and 5 cards. So he's got the tempo advantage, and now he has an extra card, which is quite distressing to see. Alright, so now I have to choose between some pretty unfortunate options. Starfire, of course, is a great way to kill the Yeti, but the problem is, then I pretty much lose my entire turn doing that. Swipe is intriguing. I could swipe the Yeti, Shapeshift to finish it off. That's terrible, though. Alright, yeah, let's play the Knife Juggler and the Lord. It's a bit risky, because if he has a good way of killing off the Lord of the Arena, then he might actually burn me out. But I've got to just hope that these minions are able to trade with his, and that I can clear his stuff off with my removal at some point when I have more mana. I have a bit of life gain here if you count the Claw. This is a bit of an awkward card for him to deal with, but if he has a buff for the Yeti, I'm pretty much toast. If he has to throw these 2 creatures at it, the Trog and the Gnomish Inventor, that's an awesome case scenario for me because that means the Yeti's probably going to hit the Knife Juggler. Barring a healing totem, the Yeti stays at 1 health. Why did he use the Yeti and not the Gnomish Inventor? He could have had a 4-1 instead of a 2-1. Well, that's the kind of mistake I make all the time, so let's pardon the man. He plays this, which is immune to spells. Oh gosh, that's bad. So I can't really finish this off very easily. Oh boy. This is ugly. I hate doing this, but I'm going to play the Yeti. Now I can either swipe and claw, which is a bit inefficient to finish off this engine, or I can Mark of Nature the Yeti and make a 4-9 taunt. And just hope he has to throw everything at this Yeti. I'm going to try it. I don't like it. A Hex would ruin me, but I think if I just were to swipe and claw here, I'd go too far down on cards, and I'd lose. Okay, so holding our breath here, seeing what he's got for me. If he finds a Hex or something, I'm screwed. If he throws all these creatures at the Yeti to kill the Yeti, then I might be okay, because this thing would have 1 health left, it would die to a swipe, this thing would have 1 health left after the swipe, it would die to shapeshift, and I might actually be able to clear his stuff off. Is this going to happen? Oh my god, it actually happens. Okay. So he's got 10 mana. This is terrible. He's got 10 mana, he's ahead on cards, but the swipe shapeshift kills off 2 of the cards that he has. So this will die to swipe, that's perfect. Power Mace is going to hit me for 6, which I don't care about too much. Just a matter of whether he has a mech to benefit from the death rattle. And he passes the turn here. Alright, Ancient of Lore. Do I wish this were an Ancient of War? I don't know. But here we will just do the obvious. I'm going to swipe that. Shapeshift this. Sucks that I have to pass the turn, and it sucks that I'm going to be down to 8 health, but I can always play this and give it taunt for the and use the health aspect of it. Then of course I would have rather just had an Ancient of War, so maybe that was a misdraft. I should have taken the second Ancient of War, at least as far as this game is concerned. Alright, this is 10th. He's got 4 cards and the play. We're in a top deck war, both at low health. His hero ability is better than mine because it gives him board presence. And he's got nothing else. Wow. Alright, swipe is good. That'll help me clear out some totems. Do I take the health or the cards? Goodness. I mean, he needs what? 8 more damage to kill me, but I'm giving this thing taunt. Alright, I'm going to take the Ancient Teachings because I'm going to give this thing taunt. If it weren't for that, though, I would have taken the health. Okay, so we'll play Micro Machine, Rusty Horn. Did I just miss a chance to win? Oh my god. Okay, so Starfire and Swipe would have taken him down to 1 health. That was probably worth at least considering. Because then I'd have Claw Shapeshift for the finish. Yeah, that might have been a really dumb play. I should have at least been looking at that possibility. Anyway, now I'm threatening lethal with this guy plus Starfire. Swipe, Shapeshift, Claw is 4 plus 3 is 7 damage. That's not enough, but that means that if this Micro Machine can attack, I will kill him. He has a 1 in 3 chance of flipping a taunt totem, of course. That last turn where he just played a totem and nothing else was very suspicious. He might be holding a bunch of removal. Looks like that's a Rock Biter. He's wondering whether to put it on himself or the healing totem. Putting it on himself would let him kill off the Ancient of Lore, but then I do win with Starfire. Putting it on the totem means he comes up 2 damage short of killing the Ancient of Lore, so he'd have to have 2 more damage. He's looking to see if he gets a taunt. Doesn't find it. And he's making the right play here. If it's gonna hit you anyway, you might as well kill you, or hit you anyway, you might as well kill it. But if that last card is not a healing card, he loses. I think he actually played this pretty well. I think he got stuck. Well, there was that one weird time when he, what's his face, left himself with a 2-1 instead of a 4-1 for no real reason. But other than that, I think he played that pretty well. I think he gave himself the best chances to win. I just had the cards. Wow, that was close. But this deck seems to be doing pretty well. So, thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and or subscribe if you did. And I'll see you again next time. Take care.